Hi, welcome to Ride Alongside. Today we're doing the full review of the Toaks 750ml titanium mug. Let's take a look. So today I have a new product for bike packing and backpacking. It's an ultralight titanium mug from Toaks. There's the item number. It's pot-750. So this is the 750 milliliter pot, and this is how it comes. So right out of the box you can see the orange little mesh stuff sack, and then here is the tag. So there you go, it's the titanium pot, 750 milliliters from Toaks Outdoor from Camarillo, California. And let's see here. So pot 750 is the item number. The material is titanium. They claim the total weight is 103 grams. I think that's with the stuff sack. Capacity is 750 milliliters or 25.4 ounces, which should be more than enough for most of the things I am making. The pot dimensions are 3.5 inches by 4 3/8 or 95 millimeters by 110, and the lid dimensions are 3 7/8 by 1 1/4 or 98 millimeters by 6 millimeters, and it is made in China, even though Toaks is out of Camarillo, California. So let's see, as we pull this out, the stuff sack feels like pretty nice quality. It's like a double layer of the mesh, and there's the lid. Right away with this lid I wondered if this would stay up, and it does. And so it has some holes for letting out the steam so the top doesn't come off, as well as being able to do some straining of like some pasta or whatever you might be cooking out in the back country. There's what the lid looks like underneath. So there's that, and here is the pot. So the pot has the two handles there, and it's like they're welded on there with kind of 3 little welds on each side of the handle. And let's see, the handles, definitely some friction there to open them up, so they'll stay in place, which is nice. And some handles, and you can see that there's markings inside the wall. So if you're left-handed, this is great because you can see them right inside there. So it goes up to 500 milliliters, and then 16 ounces on the imperial side. And you got a couple other markings in there. Looks like 8 ounces, and this other one, let's see, 300 milliliters. Sorry, can't get that focused too well there. Yeah, 300 milliliters. So it must be 100 at the bottom, 100, 300, maybe it's 200, 300, 400, 500, and then 8, 12, and 16 ounces, I guess, are the markings. So there's some branding on the outside there, Toaks 750. But I got this because it's about the right size cup for what I want to do for the most part. Get a weight on this Toaks titanium 750ml pot. There you go, 81.5 without the lid. With the lid, 98.1. So you guys don't have to do math. The lid weighs 16.7 grams. And the bag, the tag's still on it. Cut that off. But let's see, right under 13 grams there. So altogether, about 110, 111 grams. So one of the big reasons I decided to get the Toaks Titanium 750 pot was because it fits one of these fuel canisters in it. So this one's a 4 ounce, so it says 3.88 ounces. This is the Optimus brand, but they're all about the same size, and it fits right down in there. So that's nice. Now I've got this little Fohas stove that will fit in there as well. Unfortunately, if you have a spoon or spork that folds, it would fit in there real nice too. But this one, the Sea to Summit Alpha Light spork, is going to stick up quite a bit no matter which way you put it. So that'll have to go outside. It fits in the stuff sack just barely, but then it's kind of just poking out the top. The Sea to Summit Alpha Light spork or spoons, they're nice because they're super light. They're made out of aluminum, not titanium. So that would be nice, but it doesn't fit in there. So I could get a collapsible spork that has the handle that folds, over top, so it's almost half the length. But I'll be able to find a spot for the Sea to Summit Alpha Light spork anywhere. It fits really easily into my kit. So that's the Toaks 750 milliliter titanium pot. All right, so the Toaks 750 milliliter titanium pot, or titanium mug as it might be. I've had this for about 4 months now, using it just about every week to make coffee outside. That's what I like to do most. It's a great way to practice your backpacking kitchen setup, or your bikepacking setup as it might be, or just have coffee with your friends outside, or by yourself in a beautiful place that is nicer than being inside a coffee shop or in your house. So the Toaks 750 titanium mug, what can I say about it? Well, it's a lightweight mug. Titanium does tend to transfer heat very quickly. So one of the things is that these handles can get pretty hot. So if you just take it off the fire with a rag, like I use a buff, and just wrap it around there, a buff or bandana, something like that, just pull it off. It'll quickly cool down the handles as long as they're away from the heat. And then same thing with the little triangle on the lid, is just keep it up like that, and it's usually cool enough to pick up. But you can also wear your cycling gloves or other gloves if need be. The thing about it transferring heat quickly, and a lot of you guys who've used titanium know this already, but for many who haven't, you might not be aware that transferring the heat rapidly really speeds up the process of heating up your water or whatever other liquid you might have in there, especially when it's cold. The heat transfer is almost immediate, which is really great. So being about half the weight of steel and transferring heat is a really good thing. The only problem is that it also transfers the heat very fast once you take it off the fire, like I was saying with the handles, right? So one thing I highly recommend is to make a little cozy out of some Reflectix. Super cheap. I talk about this in my coffee outside kit. So if you want to check that out, check out that video. But it's called my favorite gear for coffee outside. So search that up. Maybe I'll put a link in the upper right hand corner for you. But that's how it looks once I take it off of the flame and put it in here. Then it holds the heat actually pretty well. You could actually make another one for the top if you wanted to, but I don't find that's really necessary when I'm going to go and drink my coffee right away. If I was reconstituting something, making some noodles or rice or something like that in there, then maybe that would be beneficial. So things to think about. So kind of some pros and cons there. One of the others is that one of the other pros is that titanium, when it gets scratched, you can actually just buff it out. But if you can see that inside the mug, it's a little bit hard to see, but there are some marks inside. You can see right there. So it's been getting a little bit scratched, but you can actually buff that out. So you can use like just a Scotch-Brite pad or something, and just buff that out pretty easily. So that's something also that's nice about titanium, but it does get a little bit marred. It does get a little bit of flame on the bottom as well. You can see I'm rubbing that off, and it actually has a cool color. So kind of some pros and cons depending on who you are. Another really good feature is that it's got these markings, and so you can actually read them inside the mug and see them inside there. And so it's got markings up to 500 milliliters or 16 ounces, and then they're in increments. Let's see, it goes looks like 200, 300, 400, 500 milliliters, and then 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 16 ounces. So that's a huge plus. And then the other thing is this bag. It's not the highest quality, but it's also not the lowest quality either. It can be used as instead of a bandana or buff, you could use this to grab the handles, so that's beneficial. And it actually keeps the lid and everything together, as I showed in my coffee outside gear video. So not much else to say about this. The only other thing I guess I could say is that I was wondering if it would flex too much, if it would get dinged, if it was too thick-walled or too thin-walled, and it's just right. I couldn't make a recommendation better either way. It seems very durable, very sturdy. It's not bending its shape very much. You can see when I'm squeezing it, it just flexes a little bit, but it holds its shape. It hasn't gotten any dings, and I'm pretty hard on my gear. So 4 months in, I highly recommend it. It's just over $30. I'll post some more information below, and where you can purchase this. So that's the Toaks 750 milliliter titanium pot. I'm Nick from Ride Alongside. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have more content for you real soon.